Hulau megit Arviani Pivalliajut launa megapta uvanga oyau perkani kaluak apek honnearakku Arviani Pivalliajut lerita lerapta tamna hivulang me apek kaluku kinok mga tunga hugit
nakani uvanga Eric anu I Arviani ta
apek hotekang nerovit apek hoktu luamak putitau
maka apek ko kaokit kanu pilere akak mga pitabani Uvagut kuti Arviani tau suti kanu li pigelaw kaman na pit Uvagut TV me
Arviani okak teu yunga ikayok tamak tunga tagayaw hek teu taksonga 2024 mulaw kemayumi pilere galilaw kemayunga Uvagut TV kuni
ma unika lawa we pilera ye ha suti au la ko yo te na law kemawi unika tu lwa pi tan
he volang me pilere lihak tilunga kilaw yarak doktuni kanyak sinang me pilere yak tulaw kemagama he volang pakilaw ko tamam na kau imang ite nakamakanokalupi yung mga ta o kau tiyong ito nga kanokalupi na mga ta tao nga o lamak so nga o kakti ugak tula kama kuk kano inung nitakot taklo nga kano kaya ilit talaw to nga ogalwa koveagilaw ka
tema kilaw yak tunit luba tagayaw hewa tulaw pihi amma kanui ilaw kama view
tali mani ublu ni kanyak senang me nunaling ni tikihi malaw tutawa ni amma ay iging ito ni takot talaw tunga takoran yak tulaw di ay iging ito ti pihiralui tuhang naritalaw ka takoran nito aklo ti kilaw yala kaluliranga ta koveagilaw ka
mapilere ke ha law kemagawi kanya sinin mo suti kukka hogalu law kemawi amalo kano kukka hogun ne law pi
o kau ti yaw law sunga hebol lang me lusi tulugar yung mo o kau ti yaw law kama hivulang me ko kukka na yo ako mago kukka hongi malung ago tako ago ihumagiga takin narlugi ngo iyok naktokalulo bakay ihumagiga taklugi huyong niya talaw tunga
unikalaw abitayo heo titaw ikayok talaw matingo kula kalu lihangawi kanu ikayok talaw paati
kanyak sinang meotari ko kauyamang ite na ko ikayok tigilaw ko ataw kakaw yamang ilaw yakama kano kalupina mga ma ikayok tigit siya melaw ka takayaw heo tiyo tamakso ni kahit tamakso ni nalulira nga ma kangago nuegalong na mga ma kangago kakaluk mga ma taman na ikayok tigilaw ka ila kano Riko ikayot siya melaw to kanyak sinang meuta
tema amame tagayo ti pilera nga bi ikayon na katalak pa amalu kukka hulwa ginek hawtalap
Ugam nulo ino katim nulo ikayong niluk takto nga ayong niningit nilo tautuk takto nga imnyang nang me ubaluba hananang me mekhong nang me tamakwa galoi takuhwak tagaka
te ma Arviani teni okakate kayu avitabani nui talera ta Uvagut TV kuni kitut koweagine paret takhamalak pigit kaya kuyat ni nui talera ta tagayautikku
kuwegina pagelaw taka Jocelyn mala tuhang nakilawat ko ang malo Billy Kuksuk Nukalu ikutak David Kuksuk tako tuhang nakilawat taka kuwegina pagelaw taka ang malo ilay na iwasulog tamakwa tao pihilarin ng meralog ilin nakit sinilog takmatak tao tamakwa kuwegilaw ka
ma Arviani ta kano Uvagut TV mi nui tau yayu mata ayungi tuyu hugisut ni unika gaya lawawi inuk tuyu mahluti inui pekkohi ni huli au kawi matya mata takwa apekkoyu yati inuk titut kawi matya mata utu tigilu kitut amma hunami inu pekkohiani pilirit tatu unikkaarangata holu amno pilirit juhini takuk kanawarayapi
kahilarinang may takuk kanawarayak tunga nalun na riyuk ma kanokalupiyuk mga ta ama amilarinang mitaw takuk kanawarayak tunga nip kuleong nang may tamakwa kaloy takuk kanawarayak taka inui ayung itangi kahing ni amang ni
tema tau tuau ju mayugavit marwa tama Arviani to suti kino mga pi tagayayu unik kawi hoa kanen ne pata kituralun ni ilakakpi ubalun ni huname koweria kayuvit ubaluba nutakakpi engotakalupi ta kuninga unik katulo api kino mga pi
uyaw peuyunga kani angayok kakelaw taga Pahok Mary Amma atataga Alaytok Mark Halwag ang ilanutakakaktunga ang naka Pahok Quinten Sekuluk Rose ang utakak bigis lugitaw Braylon Gemma Andy inuk titumam nga Dean Jr. Uloke Zafira Paupa Ona Amma ang utaka Miharala Cleopatra Alaytok Luke Brady Callie Bella kanyak sinang nito Barney Charles Henry Leo Amma June hello maasugi nagligi maasugi
kitunit kaya tabaw tewa na tuhayo ave hilatani to anu mitabaw ti tulwa me atuti
ni tau tu kayang nakpata angayumayang utat nangi makya nanguk mata Tristan amma angayut nangi tau angutaw makluni kakata ang nausluni halo kataw sugi atatalo gord amalo ang utak ka nutarak panigalo kanyak sinang me kawi malu yulo uvan ne halo pagka
mat na kani apet kotulwa akit unikkaw yan na tumetto kano Arviani Uvagut TV pigalaw kaman na mga maka ukiu talli mauli Arviat Film Society takalaw kaman mailin na rigjuamit takwa isumakut idluling mit aperelaw kaman mata tagayaw tikko nuit titsinang mit ikayawa ni mga ta angilaw kamagat teka apigearluta aulajiyunga pilleri ami huungit naangulaorluti noati agga oqartiut taujarluni amma uinga Ivano Junior agga maana Ivano Junior pilleriaqala magawamakuni ami pilleriaqarujarluni maana ammalunuati maana bravo kungo hukkaugu mata Arviani unnuk hukkaugu qatauyunuati matohalak hangaarpu nuati ubnuka oqartiuni ayoqmat bravo kungo hukkaugu qataukmat maannauyo ammattao ujjeriuyayuyakka Arviamiutat apeqquguugaanga tatabbani Uvagut TV mit peqqohiitni oqauhenni mitnillu tigumea atahuli tamanna quviagittayuyara tarayaraangama uuttuutigilugu qinattik taakua search and rescue laaguuyut apeqqortauttauyayut mata qano qinilliraangata pilleriyunna mangata taakua nunnainnamiutauyulao qimagatta inuktigut qano annatuyulao mangata ammalu qano hillamit ujjatuyulao mangata taakua huli atoqlunitigit qinatti pilleriuyayu mata teema apeqqugulao qimak mata qinatti taanna ujjeriuyayulao miyara innui peqqohiini malikluti huli qauyimak mata qano nunnainnamit aulaayuk mangata ammalu qano nunao atingitni huli qauyimat saarluti taakkuaraluit Arvianingaatut nuitayaraangata ujjerayuyakkali innui peqqohiini qauyimayuk yumata huli ammatao oqauherputao Arviani pigguyuk yumat pijjutigillugu angayoqqaavu ammalu anaattaavu ataattaavut ne inukto oqayuunnermit nutaqqanut pameqqayuk mata huakkiyuyarluti huakkiluavinngikaluarluti hulu oqarayarama inukto oqalaawai tukihiangi nakkit inuhugavi inukto oqalaawai amma oqatsiangikkaangata taiguuhermit ilitsaatui giatarlutik hulu taana oqakka tammaayaqma nea taiguuhilit ati oqarattu haalagit so tea innui tamaani Arviani oqauhia tamanna pigguutigiyaahuli ammatao nunnalinni hiottu ahingititao tammai wallia yut ujjanattu walwikihiani uuktu qatau qano ilinniani luttamealuhi tammaayagaluauppi kanguhukkaluauppi ubbaluni iyogayaugaluauppi kayuhituinnani lumealuhi teakihiani inunermut oqauhivut kayuhineaqman taanna unikkaawaalaugara qano Arviamiutat Uvagut TV kut nittatitsileраangata peqqohemmitnik takutitsiyuk mata apeqqoraluleraangappi innuunerminit takutitsiwaaliyuk mata tamanna quviagiyuyara Arvianingaatut nuitalleraangat ammatao marruatama 6 muaraangat kivalliuqauyahau taamalillugu Arviani Pivalliajut marruatama nuitattarnia ammatao teikani Montrealit pingayuani hitamaatnik pingayuani luubakia innuvialuit Pivalliajungit 12 muaraangat ublukut nuitattauyannia taana nikkaarualauakku matna khani apeqqotulua ma an tabbani tuluaramnuk
matna
nuqqangalaw naana qawatahi
nuqqangalaw naana pigu
te ma 1 minute break law naana apta khani apeqqokanna ma yakanna miqayoqanna ma 1 minute break law na pigu
tunga holak megit utek hemalak megapta Arviani Pivalliajut ni tam na apek holang na kap kuli Arviani me utau mi yok tau hevolang me apek karluti kinau mangapi
ni pali jone olipa ihumata lang yung Arviani utayong
ni pali tukihigar vegi kanak lagit tam na ilin na ako tiginekat ukak tulak piu
din na bigin nga 12 weeks program go mago ikunga one marin na ABC program television lago ya 8 na ilin na bigin nga 6 weeks adwami na tango amma panic kala pa akalit mo ilin na ga kanalo nga architect me kan production de ho mga ta ABC ko ABC me ilin na mago karma lagay namin acting mo ubalo ba ochi yun na mo hunaluk tano ta ko ano karma lagay yun producer lago yo ama edit lagay ni videos ka dun nita akal
tam na ilin na ako tiginekat na may ilin na anak pi
adawa mi piga ka do next month piga do ticket ado ka kidak pigo na nakago dila mada ipaksa utak ka kaya diga email bigita mga Jennifer Kadak.
Ilin na anak suti 6 weeks.
Adawami 6 weeks din na to kala nga panic kalak pa. Akadate mo dat mi lang 6 weeks dat mi lang August mi ay hano.
Wa yuleo renang me ilin na anak suti.
Te etadit ani.
Amalo. Tuha jute kalui kano ilin na ako tiginekat titaw.
Taka microphone lago yu and live mic lago yu te etadong ilin na ata kano ilit sato ya yu hang na mi kano kaya kang na mga kayo hiniluga kang na rama pakata na kaya na 6 weeks adwami sidimi na rama kape hong yu ya ma nga ta na ihumagyo ya ni ko pakan na lawa hotel ti law makun aso ni te etang ni ilin na katigila la ko ihumagyo ya ni ko kayo ya ni la ko te etang ni
O kau hikaka kanang na pagita na pidyo tigilugo ukoy nga mema kune kano ikpi kakaluk mangapi.
Ihumaya nga movie theaters ni kaya mga take pa iyak na kay movie or kape na kay movie mita kaya yakalak to nga ni bakakalum manong nga nakalum ni kaya pigwagam ni tawan ni nakangama game nga kaya tama nga ma iPad o PUBG mobile mi oirit natik iyo ma kaya hirang nila kung ate etalik ani nakkalwa ko ma IBC ko ni huwali lang inama kayo hiyo na nila pakatana idin na bigi ko kayo hiyo bigi na ko kano awla chana mga ma te etik ani nawato nga tapik yung ma inumengo hugi mea kalwa nga kano kayo higa mga ma ihuman lilaw ma messenger ko laila mga din training program o application ukwi nga uktunga na ko email video so nga congratulations dahil mayaw ni te akak himaluk daw ni takanik na ma kovet haraw nga kolam maso nga lukihan ni kolang ni ya pihimagawangin na ko kayo himano nga kablinano na ni ang yung alasan ni kanala nakawangin maso nga te etang ni idin na aming mila ma high school mi idin na talaw ti yung magord belut ko kali and Eric Murray ko idin na aming talaw ki kumegi yala ko tan ni idin na ni kayo hiyo yaman nila pa
Ilin na kanit COVID kano ihumavin huna me pilagakam na kopin
IBC kulinawato na oma nuktarakang na oma akaluit mo nuktinalunga ubaduba na mukya nuktakayo na oma ang imarayak nga pilaret sa kang nilume nerak nga kana pilarangit ninunawot mi ayok ng tuyo ma hunadukta sa ma akawi na tuyo ma hunay tuyo ni inumengo yun
kano pilagaka kay malapit akvang mi utaw tiluti
Narazun stormy magkulap kay magama pilagalawa ma 16 years old alo siya nga 10 years ago alo teka atiga ka siguro library mi pilagala siya nga alo ama naring milo pilagala ama security lago yamo Scarlet Security 2018 na take on pilaga kalila ama camera tama so nga ako magbikot ni promotional videos lila ama etarong ni pilaga kaya na ka so nga uya tarami lo pilaga kalila ama 1 year palu ba pilaga ama hap ko mela ko 3 weeks ya pilaga tala ama takana piyo ma ako na piyo ma ay himang imatin ni nakka mela ko te no ya tara amma pilaga la ke magat songa ilin nari mi sab lago yun sub teacher or custodian te kanita pilaga la ke mayunga kuna millo amma taba pilaga la tanga Uvagut TV mi last year taba utak tanga my first day pilaga yala kong
takayaw help til tas til Uvagut TV kun no
taka pilaga suri kolena piyo ma inumeta me kabina luba tatuk piyo mata hello papi
ma kovena kuni okakatigijulo alaw kita makwalo pilagarina tatit ilina mana sutillo kayo hekataw kanakubagi takuk kanako makpakataw tako taw tuktu ayungin matataw ibito tamakwalo kay ukwi nga mayuk matataw uktok takataw na puhi ilinaga na kabe kubegi bagi tabo nga kanak pinakputi matalak pagitaw Poly Junior
mamat na kami okakatigiyo lalawa matamani
matalak pagit matalak po nga taw takataw yu lalaw kaphe Arviani Pivalliajut lakilaw tunga uvanga ऊᕙᒍৎ takayaw hew tigilaw sugo Eric Amalo okakatigilaw taka Eric Ama Poly Junior unokat sana lak po he uvanga ऊᕙᒍৎ kani kalwag
My name is Nathan Obed. I'm the president of ऊvägut, which is based in Ottawa. I'm originally from ऊvägut in the northern part of Labrador, but I lived in Iqaluit for 10 years, and I have 2 boys, Banayusig and Jusho, who are still there.
Can you give us a background on when and how the idea of Inuit University came about?
Well, I know that Inuit across Inuit Nunangat have been talking about a university for decades. I think back to when I was in Iqaluit and the Governor General Michael Jean came, and she was really saying there needs to be a university in the north. There were even different groups that formed and mobilized over time to try. From ITK, it really started with the 2011 National Strategy on Inuit Education. Mary Simon was the president at that time, and we spent about a year and a half developing an education strategy. One of the key actions from that strategy was the creation of a university.
Oh.
So there were a number of other actions within the education strategy that we worked on. We always were trying to get money to do work on an Inuit Nunangat University, but it wasn't really until 2017 that we started to spend more time and more mobilizing power on this idea. Fortunately, we've had a really good relationship with different funders, especially the McConnell Foundation, who's worked with us on language, but also on education, and then the MasterCard Foundation.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't until 2021 that we received a large enough amount of money to then mobilize and try to work on this as a full-time part of the Inuit Tapiriit Kanatami work.
Were there any challenges along those years?
Well, first and foremost, it was money. There are so many different priorities that we have and so many concerns that our population has. A lot of the work that we do at ITK is focused on social equity. So whether it's provisions of health care or on language and culture or on the justice system or children in care, we have a number of staff who work on all those different things. To find the money specifically to work on the university project was the hardest part. But once we got the ball rolling, and once we started having engagement sessions and having people who are experts in post-secondary education with us, then it just spurred on more excitement and ultimately more funding to allow us to continue this work.
Okay. What are some ideas do you envision to be offered in the university?
Well, we hope to open the doors of the Inuit Nunangat University here in Uvvuagit and also have satellite campuses by 2030. We have an interim academic council. Right now we have 2 people that are on contract with ITK full-time, Pierce Krebs from the Inuvialuit region and Natasha MacDonald from Nunavik, who have been leading the task force conversations about what the academic program might look like. We'll start small. We're hoping to have a Bachelor of Education and a Master's of Education, and then also a discipline of Inuit sovereignty, maybe Inuit political science for those people who might not understand what the sovereignty piece is. And we also hope to have Inuktitut as a foundational part of the academic program in all the different disciplines. We also know that there will be a year-long North Star program so that all students who come in will have this foundational year. And this stems from the teachings from our elders and from our educators to say that what we're really trying to do is to build a whole person.
Okay. Like an individual of what they're capable of?
Yes.
By that mean?
So we know that education has not always been serving of the community. Like K-12 education and Alberta curriculum doesn't care about whether or not a student knows how to be a productive member of Inuit society. We want to make sure that in the university, that foundation year and the wraparound supports for the students will always give them skills that will make them more productive members of their community, give them knowledge that is able to connect them with their elders and provide knowledge to their children.
Okay. This will be the first Inuit university. How will it be unique and different from universities in Canada and other countries or cities?
Our task force has thought a lot about this question. We did a lot of engagement with other universities across the globe, from the Maori in New Zealand to the Sápmi in Finland and Norway and Sweden, to Klathit Nunat and the university in Greenland. And then also universities here in Canada, such as the University of Northern British Columbia or First Nations University. We tried to understand what they were trying to achieve within their program and then apply it for what we would like to see for a unique Inuit university experience. First and foremost, the Board of Governors will be Inuit. So this will be an Inuit-run institution. It will be independent from a province or territory. We will fall under legislation, but we will operate as an Inuit institution. We hope to have an inclusive student body, so it won't just be an ethnic student body of only Inuit, but we imagine that the majority of those students who come here will be Inuit. We want to be able to provide degrees that are specific to the needs of Inuit society.
Okay.
And that will be, I think, the unique part of it, that the environment, the way the university is run, and the outcomes are focused on Inuit society.
Okay. What do you envision the graduates of the university will be doing in their careers? Like once they completed and they earn their degrees?
Well, I think we all know our friends and family members who maybe went to school for hairdressing but ended up working as program officers or working in a completely different field, managing a co-op. So we know that education not only gives you specific skills in a particular field, but it also makes you understand how to learn information, how to study, how to prepare, how to be ready for any opportunity that you may have in your career. So we're hoping to give people a foundation that they can be successful within, to give them knowledge, but also skills to be able to then be successful in any field that they wish to go into. That being said, the specific program areas like Inuit sovereignty or education will allow for students to then be teachers and educators and administrators of school systems, or to work in government or in Inuit organizations or in nonprofits or in municipal hamlets, or any jobs that within our society we know are essential to the self-determination of Inuit.
The elders in Inuit culture are the first and foremost knowledge keepers in culture. How will this institute include elders to be directly involved in the teaching in the university?
We've involved elders in the conversations that we've had all along. So as part of our task force and a part of our engagement with leaders in curriculum development and leaders in education in any level, we also imagine that their elders will play key roles in the governance model. And also the accreditation for who can be a teacher in a university is changing. And it's skewing now more towards the Inuit worldview than just a Eurocentric worldview. So people who have decades of experience within a particular field are able to teach in universities now, even if they don't have a PhD and are not tenured professors. So we imagine that our elders will be able to play a integral role in the delivery of the curriculum over the 4 years that the university students are here, and also in master's programs as well.
Okay. ऊvagut was chosen as the site of the main campus. What different infrastructure and capacity challenges in communities in Inuit Nunavut, such as in ऊvagut case? How confident are you that government be able to address those challenges in preparation?
And part of the reason why we don't have a university in Inuit Nunangat already is because of these infrastructure challenges. The fact that in many of our communities we don't have up-to-date power generation. We're always on diesel power. We maybe don't have water and sewer systems that are up-to-date, or we don't have connectivity. This university will first and foremost work with the municipality and also with the government of Nunavut and Inuit organizations to ensure that any of the challenges that we face from an infrastructure perspective that we can solve together.
Okay.
We're very fortunate that we already have over $160 million that's pledged to this university. And in the construction of the campus here in Arviat, we'll work hand in hand with the municipality and also with the territory and the federal government to ensure that the university doesn't take away from the challenges, the resources that are necessary for all the residents of Arviat. And on the other hand, we hope that we can create new opportunities, such as air routes. Perhaps the Calm Air flights will be direct from Winnipeg, or perhaps there'll be more than just the schedule that exists now. Perhaps we can get more connectivity in this community because of the university and the resources that are brought in. So we hope that this initiative will bring more money and more focus on the infrastructure deficit, and we can help solve that together.
And talking about the airlines and stuff, do you hope to change the airport here for a more bigger runway for people coming in for the university?
Well, we're not sure if that will be possible in the very beginning, but we imagine that in 2030 there'll be approximately 80 people who will be working for the Inuit Nunangat University, the majority of whom will be based here in Arviat. We also imagine that we'll have a student body. How many is not necessarily known, but say between 50 and 100 students that are here, so that it will be a significant new portion of the community that will need servicing. The ongoing conversations over time as the university grows, especially with the jurisdiction of Nunavut, may be that we could see an improvement to the airstrip, or even for the port facilities here in the community as well.
There are other great potential locations for this main campus. What do you think Arviat was chosen as an opposed to locate such as Iqaluit or Inuit?
Well, in 2024, when it was time for us to pursue the decision for the main campus, we did an analysis of all 51 communities and their ability to host an institution like the one we were providing. We then did a public call out to any community that wished to express interest in hosting the university.
Okay.
In 2025, all of those communities that put their name forward, we had a process to identify the ones that had the strongest potential. And then we did a targeted call to those 8 communities that we felt were the shortlisted communities. In September 2025, that was the deadline for those communities to submit their applications. We pushed that deadline to December. Then in February, we felt confident enough to have the discussion at the Inuit Tapiriit Kanatami Board of Directors, and all the land claim leaders decided together that Arviat was the best location. It was because the proposal was so strong, the community buy-in was really evident. Mayor Joseph Ikatak Jr. was a tireless champion for this project. We knew that there were phone-in shows, there was lots of ideas, there was lots of excitement. The municipality actually had chosen the land selection already about where they thought the best place for the university would be, and they incorporated that into their submission. And we couldn't be happier to have chosen Uvagutj because of how excited Uvagutj is to host this institution, because we can't just go into a community and demand that the community participate. This university needs to have support from the community in order for it to be a success.
Okay. How is housing going to work for the students and staff once it starts running?
Well, within the project footprint, there's not only the campus where students will learn, but there'll also be housing. So we imagine that we'll be building student housing and faculty housing at the same time as we're building the places where students will learn.
What would be the steps to take to have the university to open in 2030?
Well, there's so much that we still have to do. It starts with legislation. Every university needs what's called enabling legislation to give it the power to grant degrees. And so we're hoping that the federal government will pass legislation that will enable the Inuit Nunavut University, because this isn't just a university for Nunavut. It will also have students that will be studying in Nunatsiavut, Nunavik, and the Inuvialuit regions. And then we need to create a governing body. We have an interim body that is working on the decision making. Our ITK board has been the authority so far, but we will transition into an independent university structure within the next 2 years. We also need to build the campus and hire the teachers and hire the administrators and try to recruit students. So there's a lot that's going to happen.
How do you feel coming to Uvagutj about this project?
I'm excited. I've been to Uvagutj a number of times. I have lots of close friends who are from here and mentors. Like Nancy Karatek Lindell has been such a wonderful mentor to me for decades now. And people who are very closely associated with Uvagutj, like Josie Kusugak, who's somebody who also is one of my first bosses. So I have this really fond association with this community. The last time I was here was for the apology to the Hermut, and I also understand some of the real difficult history of this community, and that's another reason why I think this is just such a wonderful place to move beyond some of those dark histories and to build a bright future, one that, and also because Uvagutj has such a strong culture, and Inuktitut is just an integral part of the community. I think it's going to be a wonderful place for students to come and be immersed in Inuit society and language.